Can you
I
guess what
wonder
I?
how obvious it's gonna be that like I woke up like an hour ago.
I mean, I kind of did too. I woke up at 10, so it's only been a couple hours.
I haven't even had water, and we normally record these. I mean, we record it in the morning, but like
We can do it
usually.
after D&D. I have no problem waiting. We'd be more loose, more warmed up that way.
Oh no. I want to record it now because I want to have my own time after
Okay.
after we're done with D&D.
Well, we're recording. We've been recording.
We're recording the whole time.
Yeah. My MO is I kind of just hit it.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I am too. It's all right. It's been a long week. This might not be the most energy infused, high tempo P3cast, but welcome to episode 3, everybody. P3cast. Feel like it's been a while since we've done a podcast. We've been doing a lot of Let's Plays and a lot of other content on the channel. We've been introducing some of our friends. We're not beeping our names anymore. Zach. Yeah?
What?
Say my name. Say it. Say my name.
Bitch.
Oh, come on, bro. Come on. Don't just come on. What's some other things we wanted to mention in the beginning of the podcast?
I don't know. What's on your list?
No more beeping our names. We're free. We're free men.
We're trying to put out consistent content. You already said that.
Yeah,
We're like super far ahead, so if you guys are actually watching, there should be plenty of stuff to come out.
Yeah, and if it doesn't come out, it's my fault because it's on the editing end. There's definitely content recorded and ready. It's just me getting through it. I'm trying to put more of the gags and gaffs and jokes and bits in it. So the editing's taking a little bit longer, but I'm only doing one at a time instead of in bulk. So it's going a lot easier. And honestly, the podcast is the hardest thing to edit. Rather than because the Let's Plays, I don't have to do a lot of cuts.
I mean, it seems fine to me. I don't listen to the podcast.
He's not a fan. You know what? Zach is the Johnny Depp of our channel. He refuses to watch himself in his own creations because he thinks it's lame.
I'm universally loved. I know.
Yeah, and you're a little bit creepy, and like sometimes, you wear too much jewelry and you look like a middle-aged 40-year-old woman.
You're like, you never know if it's actually Jack Sparrow or if it's just Johnny Depp. You don't know if he's cosplaying or not. You're just like,
The character and the real person just got a little bit too close. Like the line blurred just a little bit too much.
He played the character for too many years. Right?
Disney, yeah, it's something Disney did. It's like they do it to all of their actors. They have like a machine. They're like, well, you're getting this machine and you're going to be the best method actor, but get a little bit of your soul. And, it funnels into Mr. Walt, and then they open up the giant thing. It's like, and it's like a 40-foot like isolation chamber with him frozen in the center of it in some like horrible Bonitis pose.
No, I assume it's more like Zordon, like from Power Rangers, where he's talking to them.
I kind of love that, actually. He goes on
like a terrible Walt Disney, because wasn't he like,
yeah,
like racist or something? Like, wasn't he very not?
I think he sided with the Nazis or something. He definitely put out racist productions, but we can say, okay, that was part of the time, right? Whatever. Like, that's what people wanted to see, maybe. But I think at one point he also sided with the Nazis. World War. So,
Walt Disney got canceled so hard they had to freeze him in time.
Yeah, that's the ultimate cancel.
As an example, like, we're not going to kill you, but you're going to be a cautionary tale for all time.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean that's consistent content. I wanted to make sure like people are aware, like we're bringing new people into the channel, like some fresh blood. Our friend Horse Thief and Slam Zone are both appearing on the channel. Why
don't you say their real names like you just said?
Because it's like giving Dobby a sock when you say their real names.
Slam Zone is Nick and Horse Thief is Derek.
Yeah, and they're on the Cities episode, and Nick has been joining us on the Resident Evil playthrough, which is going to be pretty long. We're already on like episode 14. For lack of never being able to fucking count the episodes, I think it's like 14.
Also, We might want to ask Derek if he wants, because Derek's very much that person. So
Oh
like, he might
yeah,
not want us to say his name.
that's true. I'll have to ask him. We might have to beep on this one. I might have to unfree Derek. I might have to put him back into the prison of beep.
We're gonna have to call him like D-Rock, and then everybody's like, "Why did they call him D-Rock
I even
instead?"
think D-Rock might be too close. I'll ask him if D-Rock is okay, and as he goes down the list of things that aren't okay, eventually we'll just have to completely censor the entire podcast for Derek's anonymity.
Like this whole section is just beep 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 beep.
Just
Like it's like
one
Morse
long
code.
Yeah, but the Morse code spells his name. That's the trick of it. And so all
like,
of his
what?
Paranoia is like justified.
And he's like, "Why did you? You're like, why didn't you guys just cut it? That it meant something. We wanted them to know."
We had to. We thought it was funny. We thought it was good comedy. It's literally. It was. I couldn't even listen to it. It was unlistenable. It was funny.
Oh God.
I think that's how we think everyone thinks of their podcast. Actually, that's probably the same mindset that everyone.
You know, I feel like the podcast I listen to, I mean, obviously, like the regular like gaming podcasts, they totally, I 100% feel like they feel like I do about it, where it's just like, all right, we're gonna talk for an hour.
Yeah, just here we go.
Like, I'm just gonna talk, and then a podcast will be made.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like
much
I'm having a baby, right? Like I'm the man and the baby, and then you're the woman because you have to make everything.
What? Yeah, I guess you're right. You're just putting your seed in. It's so funny. And I'm making the baby. You're right. It's that's so funny. Oh yeah, the other thing. Speaking of the thing that we've created, we've gotten some feedback, and the listen along format doesn't really work for the podcast. It's difficult to do with the copyrights and having the dead air on the non-video version. It's just detrimental to the tempo of the podcast. So this time, it's the first time, so bear with us. We're going to be experimenting a little bit. We're going to listen to the song, but we're going to not do the live react, or we might do the live react and cut it together. We'll see what happens. I don't think we came to a solid decision on that, did we?
I assume that we are going to listen to the songs and talk about them afterwards.
Okay, that's fine with me.
And we'll still separate it, so we'll do your thing, and then we'll do my thing, and then we'll talk about them separately.
Yeah, it'll still have the different.
Just because you have more, like there's more songs on this thing on yours.
Right, and not only that, like we'll still separate the different sections of the podcast out too. So it'll be like talk about games, talk about something random, go into my music corner, and then to Zach's music corner, and then outro. Like I'm pretty sure that's been our format for the first two, right? Even when it was P3cast.
Well, when it was what?
P3cast. You remember the big P3cast?
No.
You don't?
What are you talking about?
He's forgotten. He's Mandela. He's gaslighting me again. Just like, oh wait, we haven't gotten to that episode yet. You'll see.
Look, stay tuned for that episode.
Yeah. We say do you know how to fuel a wheeligator with gaslight? No? I'll put the fucking sound effect in. All right.
So we're gonna do our normal shit now. So we're gonna talk about games, and ladies first. So
that's me. I'm the one that's beautiful, and I'm making the baby, so I'm the lady. Yeah. So we've been playing. I think. Well, obviously, a lot of Resident Evil. We've been both experiencing that together. Zach has kind of branched off and played a lot by himself, but we're still doing the commentary, so I'm kind of getting to experience that. But how are you liking Resident Evil 4? How are you liking the remake?
What? I literally said go first.
Yeah, I know, but then
then you turned it on me.
Yeah, exactly. What'd you think of that? That was my fucking judo. Oh, okay. All right. You have a transition. I gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
So you want to become the lady, is what you're saying. All right. That was.
You're the lady. You go first. You were what?
What? All right. We're going back to the beginning, and so the game that I'm playing right now, I'm playing basically.
You're gonna leave this in, right?
Oh yeah, I'll leave that whole part in. Yeah. That's the whole turnaround we did there. But yeah, the terrible transition into my games that I'm playing. I'm playing two games. I'm playing a game with Horse Thief, Derek, I did both of his names, so if he decides, which one he wants, I can beep one and
You're
leave it.
like, no, beat both of them.
Yeah,
You're
beep
like,
beep. But yeah, so I'm playing the what is it? The Dark Pictures anthologies, I think it is. We've played.
yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I keep calling it Man of Medan because that's the one we played first. So we played through the entire first Man of Medan, and now we're going through Little Hope. And they're like choose your own adventure games, and I kind of have like a soft spot in my heart for those games, just because like reading the choose your own adventure books when you're a kid, and then you grow up and you play like games like Myst or like Monkey Island or things like that, where it's kind of more about, or I could even go into like Johnny Rocket Fingers. That's a really deep cut. If you know what Johnny Rocket Fingers is, like the Newgrounds game, you know what I'm talking
That
about.
sounds like some weird sex thing.
It was a stick figure thing. You remember all the stick figure stuff that was really popular, like Zhao Zhao and Stick Death? Do you remember that?
No.
You don't? Oh my god! All right, that's like old school, like.
I like saw Newgrounds at like the end.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely some degen stuff. That's like stuff I.
so what kind of game is it though?
Okay, so yeah, it's a choose your own adventure game. It's the first one. It was like you're on a ship and there's like it's like a horror kind of thriller. The first one felt like it had more of an adventure curve to it. You get kidnapped by pirates, figuring out the mystery of this ghost ship. And we lost. We didn't win. We didn't get off the ship. We lost a character, and then we did manage not to get like this key item. And the game itself, even though it gives you choices, it still kind of railroads you down this hallway where you're like, okay, you have to get to this point, And so we're making these choices, and you're building these relationships, and you kind of don't feel like it has any meaning to it. And then it all starts to kind of come together in the final acts. Like the choices that you make kind of affect who helps you in the critical moments. And it's, quick time events, button tapping, timed dialogue choices, and walking around trying to discover mysteries and put things together. That's literally the entire breadth of the game. And Little Hope is, I don't think people liked Little Hope, but I'm liking Little Hope more than Man of Medan. Just because, well, one, it has some actors that were face-tuned that I recognize, which is fun. And two, I think the story is more of a horror thriller than a horror adventure. And so I'm having more fun uncovering the mystery that like they present to you in the game.
How far have you guys gotten?
Uh,
You
it's
know?
it's kind of hard to tell, but I'd say we've got to be into the third act, because the first act is, like we're discovering the world and the problem. The second act is like the first separation, the first trials and tribulation. And now we're at the third act where we've been separated and now we've come back together. And this time we're doing really good. We haven't lost a single person. And we're slowly discovering this mystery. It's kind of like a colonial, think like New England town, like an old abandoned New England town. And people keep reliving these lives that were from the witch hunting era, like the witch trials. That's what it was. And there's this little girl
Oh,
blaming
like
everyone.
Salem?
Yeah, like Salem, exactly. There's this little girl who's calling everyone a witch, and I don't know if she's in leagues with the pastor or if the pastor is grooming her. It's like that's kind of like what we're trying to figure out. We're like, is this girl truly a malicious spirit, or is she being groomed by this person to kill people in the town that he doesn't like? And so we're slowly finding out that like all of these people that were killed in the witch trials are reincarnations of the players that were playing. It's fun. I mean, it's stressful too. Like I've gotten jump scared. I don't get jump scared easy, and I've gotten jump scared in the game.
Sounds like you guys are having fun.
Yeah, it's a good game. Uh,
What else? What else have you been playing?
I've been playing the Aces and Adventures games, which I actually found out was developed by Yogscast. Do you know what Yogscast is?
Yes, I do know what Yogscast is.
I had no idea what Yogscast was before I started playing this game, but I downloaded it because I'm a big fan of card games and I'm a big fan of roguelikes, and it's a deck builder roguelike, which is like, for me, that's like, oh yeah, give it to me. I'll play every deck builder roguelike you've got. And I've played like Monster Train and what's the other one? Slay the Spire. And I
And
just
what was? Didn't you play another one? You played that one with the puzzles in it too, right?
Oh, Inscription. Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
Inscription. Yeah. That's like totally my game. It's I love building a deck, I love collecting cards, and then the fact that it's constantly changing and giving me different things to deal with and like different paths and it's just so much fun. And Ace's Adventures, it's interesting because it's poker based. Loosely poker based. We'll give it that. And there is a ton of content there. So it's like you got like core decks, right? And they each have different strategies, and they're all based on different type of hero. You have like a warrior, a hunter, enchantress, wizard, and a rogue. I want to say. So there's like five. I think there's like one more. There's like five or six heroes, and then there's 30 levels for each of those heroes. So what's five? That's like 150, right? And each level unlocks a new variant for that deck. And so you get each deck gets different power up cards and plays a different way and then levels up, which then gives you different ways to level up the deck and play it in different ways too. So each deck has three different strategies that you level up through the 30 different levels. It's huge is what I'm trying to say. Like it seems it's a very simple concept with a lot of content. And so you play through the stories, which are decks, like they're shaped like decks, and like you draw a card and it gives you a story, and then you flip to a monster and it plays the monsters, and it's like basically high card versus low card, and then you affect the outcomes with your hero decks.
So you're playing War.
Well, it's not war because I mean, if I have a like a royal flush or something like that, I beat any other
Oh.
hand. Or if I have like three of a kind or two of a kind, so it's highest hand wins. You draw
Oh,
two
okay.
hands. You draw an ability hand, and then you draw your poker hand. It's interesting. Like at first, I was like, this doesn't have enough depth for me." Like, and it's super RNG based. You can have the most powerful guy, and like you can have the best ability hand in the world, but then they'll just draw three kings and then like two aces right back to back and kill you in three turns right after a row. And it's so frustrating. That's like I've stopped playing the game. Like I only play it in very short bursts because that tends to happen, and when it does, it infuriates me.
But you still play Magic.
Oh yeah, I love Magic. Magic the Gathering, play it
Eh.
every day. But I mean, like Magic the Gathering for me, it's almost like habitual now. It's just like okay, I got to do my dailies. You know, it's I think it's like you with Dokkan.
Uh, I mean, it's just something you do, like it's just part of your day or something that can kill time for a short period. But yeah, I understand. I think I don't know. I think I'm just like kind of over deck builders at this point. Like something would have to like really reinvent the wheel for it to be interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like between having played Slay the Spire and Monster Train and like, what was the Riftlands?
Oh, I forgot
Like,
about that's a good one too. That one was hard, dude. Holy shit.
yeah, and like that one never changed in the beginning, so that one was kind of frustrating. So,
Hmm.
but I mean, sounds like you're having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, those are my games. It's casual enough, and
Mm.
that's exactly it. The games are like Magic or Dokkan. It's non-committal to a point where it's like if I have 15 minutes or if I have 30 minutes, I can just or if I'm like watching a TV show and snacking on something, it's a one-hand game. So it's like I can have a sandwich in one hand, like a show on one screen, and then be clicking through my deck builder on on the other.
Oh, well, this is yeah. That's poster goes for. I mean, it's Chris for you. We call him Captain Casual. So
Hell yeah. Casual.
casual in everything about his life.
Hell yeah. That's why
Everything.
I'm low key chill, dog.
Yeah, that's why you bought them Goku pants.
I'm gonna take a picture in the Goku pants. I'm gonna post them in this podcast, and it's gonna be
You,
fly.
you you have to do it like you're fucking like goddamn 80s b-boy too. You gotta have like the crossed arms and like lean back.
Oh no, I'm doing the what do they call it? The is it the white boys the stare where like they put the L under the chin and they do like the biting the lip and like you gotta have the hat. Like I'm doing the whole
Well,
thing.
and you gotta have your glasses on too,
Hell
like
yeah.
tucked down, like you like obviously can't even look through them.
Oh, I'm gonna be cool. You're gonna be jealous of how fly I am.
Yeah, when you post that, yeah, why don't you just insert it into the podcast or something, and then they can leave a comment about whether or not somebody thinks that you look fly, as you said.
Hell yeah, some fly homies looking at your cool girl. What's the meme? I don't know. I'm sorry. moving on. There is one game we have been playing in common that we posted a kind of like a mini playthrough. The city's inspector one. Did you have a transition to get to here, or was your transition into Resident Evil? Because I might have took
No,
your
no, no, no,
transition.
no. Our transition was that we both played it.
Oh, okay, yeah, we did it. All right, yeah, we made it.
So, I mean, let me give a little background on this. Like, we were talking about, I'm trying to remember why we did it, but I was like, just play City Skylines. Like, we were talking about it, and he's like, I've never played that. I'm like, really? That
What?
game's like crack. Me and Derek were both like, no, you're gonna if you play that game, it's gonna eat up all of your time. I think you were like trying to find a game to play, and I think we were just like, it's like free on the that
Oh
Game
yeah.
Pass, like,
Well,
and then
I think also it was like I was looking for a sim game or something. It was more than that. I was looking for like a builder game.
mhm. And this is like, well, I mean, you played it for a little bit. Were Derek and I right?
Well, when I did like even the playthrough, 30 minutes went by super fucking fast. And let's just say I've started and restarted at least 6 times as I've figured out like how everything works. They were very right in that playthrough in criticizing me. I had not known shit. The game's fucking huge. Like I lost so much time to that game so fast. I think I just started it and I have, man, I can actually look. I'll tell you how much time I have. Afraid to look. I put 8 hours into it and I've played it. I only played it like
It's not
twice.
even that bad.
It's not too
It's
bad.
not even that bad.
How many hours do you have, Zach?
I have 92.1. And after Chris was playing it, I started playing it the next day. And I've been building that same town for about, I want to say, probably 20 hours.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more like that goes into it? Because I got as far as buying a second plot of land and opening the hydroelectric dam. And then I couldn't figure out some stuff beyond that and I dropped it. I haven't picked it up since.
So in my experience, the hardest thing for me is like the transportation systems. So
Mhm.
like buses, trains, and all that stuff. So I typically don't mess with that, but that's probably why my towns fail. But like the thing that happens with the game, like you basically have to have mods. The way the highway system is designed is not there to help you. Like
Yeah.
it's meant to be a bottleneck and it stops your cities from expanding. So like when you start with your first, I would say plot or two, you're thinking very micro. Like you're trying to create your districts. You're like, okay, I'm gonna put, whether or not you're actually doing districting, but like you're like, okay, I'm gonna put the what do I say, the production over here. I'm put offices over here and put the residential over here, commercial, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay. And then you get your second one, right? And you're like, okay, I've learned a lot of things about like how it's fucked up because I've had to, you didn't have the availability of the money to basically build the things the way you wanted to,
Hmm.
right? And so you build your second plot and you're like, okay, this is more what I was thinking about, right? And then you realize that you can't just build it on its own, right? It has to be connected to the other one.
Right.
And so figuring out how you transport people from the highway, assuming you don't take the plot on the other side of the highway, is very difficult because you not only have to have access to the highway, but you also have to have access to the other city, which means, you're building tunnels, you're building overland, like in the vanilla version, you can't fuck with the highway, but
Yeah.
if you played this game and haven't gotten mods to fuck with the highway, you're
I
like
mean, I
you're
got
missing out.
mods. Yeah, I played the 8 hours and I was like, okay, I got mods. And the first mods I got were to modify the highway as well. Because if you only have one spur in the even in the very beginning of the game, it's too much congestion because there's only one in point into your city.
Yeah, and each of the out points is only one lane.
Hmm.
So, like, I'm at 7 plots now, and the primary issue I'm having now, like, I'm still not making a ton of money. Like, I usually hit around like 30 to 50K a week or whatever the time thing is, but the problem ends up being that the highway access, the further you get away from the highway, the more you need it. And so, like, I'm at the point now where I'm having to, when I am doing a plot, I'm not only designing the plot for like what I'm gonna build there. Actually, I'm not even doing that. I'm not even doing it based off of what I'm going to build there, other than looking at the resources. But like, I'm building it around access, like transportation. I'm building it around the highway instead. So like, I'm pre-building the highway around that plot before I even start thinking about zoning or anything.
It's
And
people would say that's a very American way of city designing. It's like designing the city around the roads instead of the other way around, you know?
well, I mean, I built a grid, but it's like, you know that access to the highway and congestion are going to be one of your primary issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that this cities doesn't have an airport, and SimCity does. So like, you don't get tourism that way. Everybody's going to arrive via highway. There might be a harbor. I can't remember,
I want to play
but
SimCity now.
it's it's okay. I like this much better, but the
I
new
like,
one wasn't super great. But yeah, I think it's a very addictive game. Like, this game came out, I think it's like 2015. This game's like 8 years old or something like that.
damn.
Like, if and there's a ton of DLC, a
Oh
ton of
yeah.
mods. Like, if you haven't played this game, like, I know it just came out March 10th, 2015, so almost exactly 8 years ago. So if you haven't played it, it's literally $30, or if you have the Game Pass, it's like free right there. Oh wait, there's a bundle. Oh no, there's so
It
many
is free.
bundles for this game, because there's like 56 DLC packs, but a lot of them are like
Jesus.
music and that shit.
It's like The
There's a lot of
Sims.
music ones.
Music. Oh
Well,
yeah.
Sims is free right now on everything. No,
Well,
Sims 4.
I invested quite a bit to have my Sims 3 DLC library be complete. They charge $20 per DLC for Sims 3 still.
Do you have them in like your big ol' like CD case of
Yeah,
discs?
my it has like I cut out the front of the discs, or not the discs, the case like a monster, and just put that behind it.
But like, you cut it with like scissors. You use like a box cutter or something like that, so it's not like a good square.
Not even straight, yeah.
Mm,
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, and
uh,
I tried to bring it up in the beginning, but the other game that you've been playing is Resident Evil. Have you been enjoying it?
um. So the game is weird. Like, I wouldn't say it's bad. I think the game is really good. It's just some things feel. I feel like it's missing that campiness of the
Yeah.
original, like, where it's like, it's supposed to be like Leon's like an action hero when he does stuff, but
Mhm.
like, maybe it's different if you play it on normal, but I've been playing it on hardcore and it's really difficult. And like, Leon's not as cringe. And so like, I kind of miss some of that stuff, but like, some of the things have been the same. They've made QOL stuff, about like, what I want to say, they changed the crafting system, which is better, I think, to me.
They put in the
Being
quick
able to
menu.
craft ammos. Yeah, I think that, I don't remember if the quick menu was in there or not. I assume it was. But having that, smarter crafting. I think that the enemy in this game is almost always the camera and not what you're fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not aware enough of playing the game to be like, oh, this is what's happening. But like, I feel like a lot of the time when it does the over the shoulder, it just swings super slow. And so, that's probably me. I probably just need to change the controls, but then it's gonna like throw me off for like 5 sessions where it's just like,
Turn up your
uh,
sensitivity. You just need to be playing with a mouse. They just built it for the mouse and keyboard this time.
no, no.
It's
I'm gonna play
superior.
it the way God intended.
All right, all right.
Our Japanese warlords.
Whoever did it.
Um, so I've been having fun. In the beginning, I think the beginning is more what people remember. It's very even hardcore. I didn't really die that much in the beginning, like in the first couple chapters. I want to say maybe first three, or maybe the third one. The third one is like, I think I just finished chapter 4 or 5, and the first couple, like, I died maybe less than 10 times on hardcore.
Mhm.
And in the last 2 chapters, I've died like 8 times and 9 times, just because like, they deal so much damage. Enemies deal so much damage to you, and I feel like in the last one they would give you more space to not like, they wouldn't juggle you, and like, that's happened to me quite a few times.
where you're like getting
Um,
jumped by a mob and then you're stun locked because it's like you're in one animation. As soon as you get out of it, it's like, well, I'm fucked because I'm surrounded.
yeah, and they can grab you, like they can give you like a full Nelson, like from behind, and you
Yeah.
have to like break free. You can't stab anybody. And I guess that sort of brings up something else. Like they added durability to the knife, and I don't know how I feel about that because on the one hand, you get knives and you just use them to stab or get out of situations. But your main knife has a repair thing. You get plenty of money, but it's like, is this just a money sink? Like I wonder what the decision was for that. Like was it like I assume it's not a Breath of the Wild thing. Like that's so long ago. Like I have to imagine that's not the reason because I'm pretty sure in the last Resident Evil in 8 it didn't have that. Like the
Yeah.
knife didn't have durability. So I I'm liking it so far. Like it's not destroying my nostalgia. It's more just I still enjoy it.
You feel like
My
it's
thing
like
is it,
you feel like it's been adjusted to a point where it can exist in the modern age of Resident Evils, like,
mm,
or do you think the Resident Evil 4 was fine as it was?
I think that 4 is very groundbreaking. I mean, at least for me, very much like really felt like the first like you had a chance to survive when you're
Hmm.
playing Resident Evil. But I think that this one, and you know, it might be just because of the difficulty. I feel like it doesn't really do anything new.
Mm.
And it is a remake, right? Like
Right.
I don't think it does anything to break down any barriers. It's okay,
Hmm.
but I just got to the castle. So
Gotcha.
like the castle is when the game really opens up and you get to see more of the stylized choices, and I wonder what they're gonna do. Like how that part is gonna change. And I think that that'll be more where my like opinion evolves about what's happening. And I mean, we're doing these like once a month, and I assume I will be done by then. But I think the next episode I'll be able to give my like final opinion about like what I really think about it.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Resident Evil for a little bit. It feels like, at least if we keep going through with the playthroughs anyway too, and I'll be able to talk about it as someone who's I never played it, so I'm just watching from an objective like watcher's standpoint, and I enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's like an action movie.
Oh wait. Let me look something up. So I have 11 hours in the game, and I'm like on chapter 5. I
You
want to
just
say
got to
chapter
the
5.
castle, right?
Yeah, I just got there, so that might be chapter 6. And I think there's either 13 or 14 chapters. And I used to like play the game for fun, and I could beat the game in like less than 7 hours. I want to say like 6 hours or something like
Oh
that. And I'm
damn.
already at 11. So I don't know if the game is artificially long, or I'm taking the time to like actually watch all the cutscenes, or I'm just dying a bunch. But it feels like the game is longer, but I could be wrong.
Interesting. Well, that's cool. I mean, at least
Uh,
it's updated. It's not like a cheap shill. They put a lot of work into it.
yeah, I think it's a good remake.
So speaking of, watching action movies or action heroes,
Wait. I thought we were gonna do the music. We're gonna do the music last.
yeah, we always do the music last.
How much time has already passed?
We're at 34. I'll do it in
How long
five
do you think
minutes.
it's?
5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna time you, and then when it hits 5 minutes, I'm gonna be like, well, okay,
You
let's
gotta.
move on to the music. Okay, I like if you don't do a smooth transition, I'm just gonna break it, and then you're gonna not be happy.
All right, at 5 minutes,
Okay.
I'll even edit in the Oscar walk off sound, so you can be like, "All right, thank you, Poster Ghost." Give him a little clap, like for your great contribution to the movie community. But yeah, all right. So speaking, yeah, see, I might cut that in. Who knows? Maybe we'll keep that inside baseball in. If we did, congratulations to the listener for hearing us.
I already started the timer.
Oh God. Um, so speaking of action heroes, should I? I don't even know if I should transition again. I've done this transition 3 times. Speaking of action heroes, I've watched some pretty good movies. I'm not normally one to keep up on movies, but I found out my movie theater does. It's like $4 to see a movie on Tuesdays. So I've just been going by myself after school. I have like hour after school, and I'll go see a movie. But I spent 3 hours watching the new John Wick chapter, which was pretty good. That's kind of like the last movie I want to talk about because even if it's not like I still think John Wick 3 was better than John Wick 4. I also saw Scream 6, Cocaine Bear, and Knock at the Cabin. And out of those three, I think Knock at the Cabin was the best.
You're telling me that Cocaine Bear wasn't like Oscar worthy? Like
it wasn't okay. So
wasn't groundbreaking.
if for a quick review, ready? Scream 6. Not funny, not scary, not gory enough. Just all around kind of lame. Laughed out loud at the most dramatic scenes because it was funny. It was like they were trying so hard.
But it had Wednesday Addams in it, right?
Yes, it did have Jenna Ortega, who, I mean, I do like to fantasize about, but I feel like people want to give me shit for. She's of age.
You should cut that.
Cut that.
You're also not anywhere close to her age.
Yeah, not anymore. I know. I'm not supposed to do that, but I mean, we're all on TikTok, right? Okay, cut all this. All right, quick review of Cocaine Bear. I did my 1 minute review of Scream. Here's my 1 minute review of Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear. Once same thing. Not funny, not scary. It kind of puts itself as this kind of like gory creature flick, and then it kind of looked like it was just kind of safe. It did everything safe. Nothing was funny enough. They didn't go into the cocaine jokes enough. They didn't go into like the bear mauling enough. And then they also showed children ingesting cocaine, which kind of was like weird for me. I was like, I don't know if I like that, even in a joking way. Knock at the Cabin, 1 minute review, based on a book, but written by M. Night Shyamalan. Knock at the Cabin was pretty good.
M. Night Shyamalan of Avatar fame?
Of Avatar fame, yeah. Of Avatar and The Sixth Sense.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah. But yeah, that movie actually was my favorite of the 3 horror movies. It was more of a suspense thriller, and it's just a lot of double meaning. It's a gay couple's in the woods with their adopted child. They're approached by...
Oh, yeah, that's the one with Batista.
Yeah, they're approached by Drax, exactly. And Drax says to them, it's like, I'm going to ask you to kill one of each other. Like, they trap them in the cabin. They're like, one of you has to kill each other. Like, one of you has to make the decision to die, right? Of the 3. And every time you don't make the decision, I'm going to kill someone in my party. And there's 4 of them. And you eventually come to find out, like, if they make it seem like they're a part of a cult and they're being brainwashed into doing this, but then things start lining up where it's like, this might be the apocalypse. These people might be, harbingers.
Oh.
It's interesting. It was actually really interesting. I really liked it. That was my favorite of the 3.
Did you like Batista with glasses? That's how we know he's menacing, right? He's smart and buff.
He was a kindergarten teacher. So it was like his credibility was driven to his... he was a kindergarten coach, too. So it was like his credibility was like he was soft, gentle, caring, but he was also like killing people.
And shredded.
And
like
shredded,
every kindergarten teacher shredded.
It's like, where does a kindergarten teacher get time to spend that much time at the gym? All right, and then I have 1 minute left. I can see it on my time. I think I have 1 minute. So 1 minute review of John Wick 5, or John Wick 4. Sorry, not John Wick 5. John Wick 4. It's way too fucking long. It's 3 hours long. You can divide it easily into 3 acts, with each act being about an hour long. The action isn't as nonstop, but it's because you can tell they need to close some ends. It's like they're wrapping some stuff up. And so they kind of have to move within the laws of the world. Was in the 3rd one, they were kind of breaking the world. He was going around just killing everyone. So you just, 3 hours of straight action. This one, John Wick's kind of looking a little old. The nunchuck scene's a little slow. And he's side by side with Donnie Yen. And so it's like you put anyone next to Donnie Yen and you're kind of screwed on speed. It's like he's going to look way faster than anyone else. Overall, though, it was really fun. There were some really cool scenes. There was one really awesome scene where they did like this Hotline Miami thing with incendiary rounds that literally like so cool.
Well, I guess we're going to have to find out about that next week.
Oh, no. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank... All right. Moving on. All right. Welcome to Poster Ghost's Music Corner. Today we're going to be listening to the album Liminal underscore. It's liminal, the word liminal, and then the underscore right after. I know it's confusing, but it's by the artist.
Actually, it's the liminal underscore EP, Chris.
Oh, right. Liminal underscore EP by the artist No Oath. So I don't know a lot about this artist, and it's because I searched, I looked around. I normally do some tiny bit of research before I do talk about these artists. And the only thing I do know is that he's a French producer and he's a one-man band, and that's about it. And he offers services if you want to get your tracks mastered by him, which is actually why I brought this person forward to Zach, is because Zach doesn't normally listen to like super heavy, aggressive music like this. And beyond that, I know he doesn't like music that has, I don't want to say a lo-fi feel to it, but he doesn't like it when it's purposely sounds bad. Like the crisper it sounds, it betters, and the better it is. And normally I'm in that same kind of boat. I want to hear something that's well mastered, well organized in the sound palette, but this specifically, he has a way of mastering the music that makes it sound more aggressive and heavier. And I wanted to see if you picked up on that. Pay attention to the way that the drums pull the rest of the sound out. Every time the kick happens in the drums, it's almost like pulling the guitar away, like lowers it.
It's like explosions.
Mm-hmm.
Like fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so everything radiates out from that.
Yep.
I don't like the distortion sound, though.
Yeah, it's very muddy. It's super industrial.
Like, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
But I want a clean sound, though. But, like, that's just what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
There's no words in this, right?
No, there's no words.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Still.
I described it as it's like a Doom soundtrack, but
No,
more
you know what it is?
industrial.
This is the Blade soundtrack, bro.
Hell yeah. So I work out to this. This is my workout soundtrack. I like to run and lift to this.
Oh. So you were listening to this like 3 months ago then, that's what you're saying?
Fuck off. It was only like 2 weeks. It's only been like 2 weeks.
No, I think it's been like way longer than that.
Has it really? It only feels like it's been a couple weeks.
It's April, Chris.
It's been the nicest couple of weeks though, like so casual.
No, because remember you were sick first.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then you weren't working out when you were sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then your shoulder was messed up.
And then I gave up. And then I decided I wanted to be fat and hairy.
I think so. Here's the thing. Like, I want it to be clear because I want to be able to hear everything. I want to, like, when it's muddy, like you said before,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to differentiate because, like, I want to hear the individual instruments. And, like, I understand what he's doing. It's not like it's purposely done this way. It's just, this isn't the kind of music I would listen to, like, even in the car. Because it's, like, it's still, like, very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But I want, like you said, like I want a clean sound, and I don't listen to music really like this anymore.
Right.
I added the other song that you sent me, but these ones, it's not something I would normally listen to.
So for reference on the Liminal underscore album, this one is more, as Zach originally described it, it's like fireworks. It's big explosions. And how he achieves that is he puts what's called a peak controller on the kick drum. So every time the kick drum hits, every time it peaks, the sound peaks, right? It pulls all of this other sound away. And so what it happens is it makes almost like a cascade that appears and disappears every time the kick happens. So it goes boom, 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 and it's like waves of this aggressive industrial sound.
I like the titular song. I like it better than the first one.
Which one?
I like the Liminal song.
Oh yeah, the titular song. The titular song.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very titular song. It's tits. It has that synth over top of it that helps you identify the pitch of the noise, as opposed to it sounding just like feedback and mud. You have that nice synth right over the top. And even the synth is being cut by the drums. If you notice that as well, the synth is being cut through with that peak controller as well.
Well, like it's like I'm not having to like sift through things. Like, at least the synth like runs through.
Yep, it gives you the through line exactly. Yeah,
I don't have this one.
This, like I was telling Zach, it's definitely like it's very aggressive. Like Zach doesn't listen to a lot of like I don't even think you listen to metal much anymore. Like what's the heaviest thing you probably listen to right now?
Uh, Pierce the Veil.
Yeah, in comparison, I'm still listening to like I'll still listen to Black Dahlia Murder, Between the Buried and Me. Like I still like some heavy music. Albeit my
Oh,
tastes have been changing, I still like that.
yeah, my current playlist, I have some Pierce the Veil, I have some Bring Me the Horizon, but that's it. Like, mostly like whatever I feel like listening to, and I've been listening to my emo playlist.
But yeah,
But that's mostly like it's easier to listen to. It's more nostalgic for me. I assume the way our parents were classic rock. So I
I mean,
mean,
this is easier to listen to me than some other stuff too. It's just it's comforting for me. I always describe this as like it's an industrial doom soundtrack.
you okay? So here's my final thought. Like after listening to it, you know why I kind of feel like I don't like it
Mhm.
is because if there was lyrics and singing over it, I feel like it would sound like every other thing that sounds like this.
Yeah, that's actually why I don't listen to a lot of bands with vocals is because the moment that you put a vocal onto it, it defines its genre. Like if it had post-hardcore vocals onto it, like something singing or belting like that, it would sound like that.
Or if it was progressive metal, like I could see this being exactly that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like them just you just hear that vocal tone and be like, okay, well I know what kind of song this is.
Hmm.
And like I think that's probably why it's hard for me to separate it
Hmm.
because I can easily imagine the vocals that would be with this.
Yeah, I think that's also a positive mark of the music. Like if you can imagine vocals to it, it has good structure.
I mean, I wouldn't like the vocals, but yeah,
You're like I can imagine them,
it'd be a
but I
lot, it'd be
wouldn't
a lot
like
of
them.
growling and stuff. You just
Yeah.
be like, ugh.
You're like, all right, I get it. You're white and you're oppressed. This is a French guy, all right? They're like the least
They were
oppressed,
literally rioting. They were literally rioting.
but
They
not
were
for.
literally oppressing. No, they're literally their government is oppressing them
But isn't that because
they
they're
want
less? They have more
they
freedoms
wanted
than us, though.
yeah, but they wanted to extend the retirement age.
Yeah, but
They
it's
wanted to
like
make
it's
them work
already
longer.
like, isn't it already like 5 years later than us? Isn't we're like 58 or something stupid? Or like I don't know. That's too way too young. I don't know.
I think we're like somewhere between we're at like 65, and they wanted them to work to like 67.
Oh, I thought it was different. I thought they were at like 62 and they wanted them to work to 64 or something.
Let's see, retirement age. Oh, 67 for us. Oh, god damn it.
What is it?
No, I typed in
Oh,
retirement French and
okay.
did the translation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is still way better. They're at 64. They're from
Yeah,
62 to 64.
that's crazy. Yep.
They're burning shit down. Meanwhile, over here, we're just like,
Well, I mean,
first time, huh?
we just make bad
First time.
music. They actually like throw fire bombs. We're like, all right, well, we're gonna make our third local hardcore band about our oppression because we don't have any money and you're not giving us any way to buy houses.
I feel like you're talking about like the bands you go see. I feel like
That is
those
exactly
are
what
the
I'm
lyrics
talking.
that they're singing about.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I can only speak from experience. Anyway, moving on from Poster Ghost's Corner. What do you have for me this week? Oh no.
Okay. It's gonna contrast very heavily with what you were listening to. You're gonna hate it. But it's the first time that I picked two songs in English, so
Ooh. Proud of you, Zach. Finally, being true to your American roots. So, I think I'm going to start with Dance Macabre because I have a reference frame for like what Ghost sounds like.
wait. Ghost what?
Macabre?
Dance what?
Macabre? Dance Macabre?
Yeah.
Macabre. Macabre. Anyway, I'm going to listen to this Scooby-Doo ass song because that's what everyone says Ghost is. It's Scooby-Doo music where they run through the hallways.
It's macabre, Chris. It's just macabre. You don't pronounce the R.
Macorn, macabre.
Yeah, like
Holy shit! It's
just
got
just like a person from Boston saying their car.
macabre.
My car.
All right,
Macabre.
it's got 125 million views.
They have a lot of views.
Yeah, Ghost is super popular. I'm aware.
My thing was like I didn't listen to this band before like a month ago. So like I started listening to Ghost after I saw it on TikTok. Like not because of the
Mhm.
songs, but somebody was just described them as this. Like they were showing all the visuals of it, right? Like their music videos, like and how they're like Satanists and all this stuff, and they're like, and it's dad rock. It's like Bon Jovi,
I
and I
was
was like, what?
so yeah, that
And
that is exactly my like first comment. Like I put it on, I was like, okay, all right, and then like it went on. I was like, this is the most '80s fucking thing I've ever heard. I'm listening to right now, and then I was like thinking about the face paint and all the pageantry, and I was listening to that song, Zach. And you know what Ghost is? Ghost is Kiss. Ghost is our generation's Kiss.
they're so much better than Kiss.
You're just saying that because you didn't grow up with Kiss. This is exactly the same thing as Kiss.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put on the make. No, I'm not going to a concert with the makeup on. I'm just like,
Yeah, but some people are.
no. I think no. You know what it is? I feel like some people are I'm not a diehard Ghost fan. I just think it's very catchy. Like, I'm not going to a Ghost concert.
No, I agree. I agree. But that's what I think. That is my genuine appraisal of Ghost. I think it's this generation's Kiss. I don't think the song is bad. I think they have like their image is very different from the sound they portray. And it's a lot of stage show. Like I don't know. I think it reminds me of Kiss. It's like I don't know. It's the vibes I got the whole time. Like it hit me so hard. I was like, I don't need to. The song, it's a Kiss song.
Well, I don't think any of them are as energy as Kiss,
It's
but
true. Yeah.
um, like my whole thing was like, Derek and I talked about this when we were driving back. We went to a car. Derek and I went to a car show yesterday. And we were
Horse
listening to
thief.
this stuff on the way back.
Just in
And
case.
we were listening to this, and it's like, you know, I feel like it's so like I know that you say it's like pageantry, but I feel like it's 100% intentional, not for that reason. I feel like it's done specifically because it's ridiculous and because it's a dad rock band. You're like, can you imagine if your dad was a Satanist? How uncool it would be if your dad was a Satanist. You'd be like the most Christian person ever. Like me, like Derek is like me and Derek are just like, yeah, we're gonna run off and listen to Creed right now. You're like, I'm gonna most Christian band ever.
I feel like everything you're saying is the same thing a kid in the 80s said about Kiss. The same exact thing.
How would you know? You weren't
I
there,
don't know, but I
Chris.
feel like it's the same thing because like Kiss was heavily attributed to satanic thing, but it was literally just dad rock. And then like it's like got this heavy
No, but
cult following. It's a
I
lot of
feel like
pageantry.
do you think that they were self-aware?
Yeah, I think
Like, do you think?
Kiss is definitely self-aware, and I think Ghost is
I
self-aware
mean,
too,
no, but did you think they were self-aware then?
to a degree. I definitely.
I
You
feel
don't put on
like
that
Gene
makeup
Simmons
without
acts like he's
being.
not.
I think Gene
But
Simmons
that's his
just knows
persona.
that's his character. Yeah, exactly. Like he's gonna make money being Gene Simmons, not being Joe Blow. It's the difference between. Okay, so if you said Black Veil Brides and Ghost, I would say okay,
Ugh.
Ghost all the way because that's the difference between self-awareness within that pageantry, right? Like Black Veil Brides, like they have the pageantry, but it's kind of like it's like Slipknot too. Like Slipknot, I'm pretty sure they didn't start self-aware, but now they're self-aware about the masks and things like that, right?
Well,
Black
they
Veil
know how to
Bride,
sell their music.
exactly. Like Black Veil Brides, whether it be an image, them selling it, or whatever, it's almost as if they're not in on their own joke, right? I feel like Kiss people and Ghost people are kind of like that. Like you can't cover yourself in face paint and not be a little bit on the joke. I mean, you probably can. There are probably people like that aren't aware and take it really seriously, but I couldn't as an artist, I could not imagine putting face paint on every day and not feeling like a little bit of a clown.
I was trying to think of a joke about you, but it's too early.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
There's a joke in there. You Ronald McDonald ass motherfucker.
yeah, like I I realized that they had like a huge thing on TikTok. Like a couple of their songs ended up being like backgrounds to like a lot of the videos that were well, not a lot, but some of the videos that were popping up
Mhm.
on my feed. So like that's part of the reason I started listening to them.
Dude,
As
goth
I've
chicks love
expand,
Ghost. Goth chicks love Ghost.
so I've been listening to more of their discography, and like it's 100% a pop band because there are songs on their albums that are, for lack of a better word, not really that good. Like they're
Yeah.
super generic. And like I know we're talking about dad rock, but it's like there's a style of dad rock and there's a way that you like differentiate yourself, right?
Hmm.
But some of their songs is just like, oh, we had to get to 12 tracks.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like. And
I,
you're just like, ugh, I wish you would have done like 5.
I'd rather have 5 genuine ones than
Hmm.
5 and these weird studio
Hmm.
monsters that you created.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm interested. I mean, I can't. I mean, like you said, I'm not the only one. They have like literally what 7-8 million views a month.
It's insane. Yeah, I do not understand the ghost fanaticism. Like, it's not something. But then again, like I, I feel like we've had this culture kind of talk with music before. It's really hard for me to be like, I'm a part of this culture. Like, and I'm dressing this way because I kind of do it with video games. Like, I could say video games. I wear a video game t-shirt or a band t-shirt, but it's not like I don't dress goth. I don't dress punk. I don't dress mod or new wave or hipster. Like, I'm not trying to output a style. I'm just kind of like wearing clothes that I like, you know?
Hmm.
And I feel like Ghost is like that. And there's like a lot of bands like that are like, more it's like it's so based for culture. It's like it's almost more important that they represent the image and the culture than they actually put out music like that. Like, okay, so I know this is a really, it's kind of hard to imagine this, but you know the song Mirsalu, the surf rock song, the
The Misery Lou song. Yeah.
yeah. So that's actually an Indian raga. That was, I'm getting really deep into some music shit. So that way back when was an Indian, it's like a traditional Indian song, right? But it was adapted by a guitarist who was a part of a surf rock community. And so that song became identified with surfing. And therefore, the music and the image and the culture adopted that song. I think there's a certain level of that happens in like a goth culture or a punk culture, you know? And for me, it's really hard to get past the image and dive deeper into that.
Well, it's. I mean, we've kind of talked about this before that there's like this balance, right? Like what is more important to you? Like when we think of like I mean, I'll just bring up the band you already brought up. Like when you think of Black Veil Brides, there's
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of their imagery is
Yeah,
focused like is at the forefront, right? Like they're about their image. I'm not saying their music is like terrible,
it's
but
terrible.
like it's not the priority
Right.
with what they're doing, right? Like they're trying to put forth an image and they want people to resonate with that image, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or be super attracted to them, right? Like if
Right.
it's girls, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this they're trying to is Ghost like the one punch man of like this dad rocky stuff where it's like it's supposed to be satire, right?
I think so.
Like I feel like it has to be because it's to like such a crazy degree,
Did
right?
you think
Like
it started that way though, or do you think like there were these guys? Like, what do you think came first, the music or the makeup? Right,
oh, the music.
the music.
I think
Okay.
it's the music. I well no. So here's the thing. I bet that there was awareness of them being like pretty ridiculous before, but then like they started talking about like, dude, what if we just really lean into it? You're like I don't know, dude. Like, listen, I'm gonna experiment. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna put some stuff on my face, and you let me. And it came up with like click on the album, click on the artist, and
Yeah.
then look at that. If you just came out
Oh
wearing
yeah,
that,
yeah, exactly. Like the
you're
Pope
just like
hat, and yeah, no, it's so much.
it's gonna make people talk, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
gets you attention.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mean, like I said, the music is catchy,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's easy listening,
Yeah,
and so it's like
that's
it
true.
was all about getting people in the door,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if that's what you're doing, if you're trying to get people to talk, all you have to do is write a song that's catchy, and then have an image or something like well, now it used to be about, or I'm sorry, it used to be about like having the image like this and stuff, but it's kind of about controversy now. Does Ghost have any controversy aside
I
from
don't
the
know.
Satanism?
I don't know. They're European.
No.
I
Yeah,
didn't really
probably
I
not
didn't
then.
really do much research.
Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, I feel like we've talked about Ghost enough. I don't want to give them any
Okay.
more. I like Ghost. They're all right. I
You're like
just not
you're
something
like
I listen to.
you're mad that they have the listeners, right? That's what it is. You're like, you
I'm
didn't
kind of
even do
angry.
anything.
I'm kind of angry. It kind of angers me when someone's like, "Look at my face paint." I don't like the face paint bands. I'm sorry.
What if they had big like hair metal hair? Is that fine? Like D.
Mm,
Snyder?
maybe.
All right, we'll move on to the next song. The next song we're gonna listen to, I literally found. I know I said I found girls on TikTok, but I found this one on TikTok more organically. Where, um, can you post the TikTok in the thing? You do that right
Yeah,
in our
I can
description.
post it. Yeah.
Where like I saw this video come up, it was a guy playing guitar, and then like the first guy comes, he's asking people to play, or no, he's playing bass. He asked them to play guitar and like do a solo or something like that. The first guy comes up and he sucks, and I'm like laughing, and then like the girl comes up and she fucking like nails it, and I was just
Yeah.
like, Jesus.
It's like it's tasty. Like there's a difference between like someone showing off on guitar and someone like feeling it and being in pocket. She was fucking in pocket, dude. It was tasty.
Yeah. So it's Mrs. Hollywood by Gojo, not to be confused with Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, but it's a very poppy song to me, and it was just so catchy. Um, like I kind of couldn't get over it. And the girl who shows up, her name is Chloe Dad on two D's on on TikTok, and it was just very poppy to me, very catchy. Also, the dealing with some shit, and so the lyrics are pretty good. Resonated a little bit too much, and that's part of the reason I'm probably listening to it. But it's very catchy, and the guitar like that her or even if it's not her, but that solo like goes through most of the song because it's so short,
Mhm.
and
Well,
you can and there's like
the song itself is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so it's concise. It's a punk song, but in a pop song format.
well and it like I think the thing that I like is that you you get through that first verse, right? Like first chorus,
Mhm.
and then you start to hear the guitar,
Yeah.
right? Like little like it starts to work up to it,
Mhm.
and it's just like it just sounds it so I feel like it's the opposite of like the song that you brought up. Because it's like it's very simple, like very smooth, very like you can hear all three instruments, right? Like there's no I mean I don't know anything about the production part of it. So but like in terms of like how clean is I mean no wonder I like it, right? Because everything's really differentiated. Everything's very
Yeah.
like I can hear the drums, I can hear the bass, I can hear the guitar.
The line, it's also like everything's complementary to each other. It's not like line exists to support another line. Every line, even though, like you can have a solo that exists apart from a song. Like you write a song, right? And then you have 4 bars and the solo goes on top of that, right? And when I say on top of that, I mean that as the descriptor, right? But then there's a different type of way of doing it where you write it complementary to the melodies that have already existed. And this song is very complementary. All 3 of the melodic lines don't exist to isolate each other, they exist to complement each other.
And there was I saw another one later where a guy tried to do a solo, and his was really good too. But and I saw one where like the girl literally played it behind her head.
Nice, yeah. She's like, I'm a 3. Yeah, whatever. Shut up.
But yeah, like I mean I hate to say this because it's not all like this. I'm still getting like most of my music recommendations from radio station on Spotify, but things like me hearing the songs on TikTok and stuff are like being another way for me to listen to it. Not that's replacing radio, but it's adding to it, right? Like
TikTok.
it's just another way.
So I enjoy TikTok because it brings focus to the instrumentalists of the group. It's harder to, in 5 minutes, impress someone if you're not playing the instrument or singing directly, right? So you can't just put like a finished song, a finished product. You have to show some part of the making of it. And I enjoy that about TikTok.
Well, and I mean, he's getting like a ton of views,
Mhm.
right? So
So
I mean, he's
he's
getting
got,
free advertising, right?
yeah, he's got like what, 2 million hits on the song. So he's probably made about $3. That's pretty good.
Mm. Yeah, but he's got the 6 million one, so he's got like $12.
Yeah, they're really paying him. And if he's lucky, if he keeps doing what he's doing and he focuses on his image instead of the music, he can be an influencer.
So the video has 6.4 million likes, which means it has to have 10, 15 times that many views, right? Like I
Uh,
have to guess,
yeah,
but I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
what the the scale of likes actual views is, because I don't like everything that I view.
Me either.
But yeah, I mean, this is his way of doing some viral marketing, right?
Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Watch out for fucking P3cast on TikTok. That's the way to do it. Honestly, I've gotten more views on my music that things that I've posted on TikTok organically too, like not purporting any sort of advertisement or doing any word of mouth, no advertising of it at all, completely organically from the algorithm, over 1,000 hits. And it's like, wow, I post stuff on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that shit, and I have gotten nowhere near that many views. So it works.
So yeah, so Poster Ghost is going to be putting out some newer content on there.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of lazy.
No, I'm slowly changing him into not being lazy, and he doesn't realize that it's happening.
The iron is being forged by the hammer. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in with us, everybody. This has been, actually, it was a pretty good P3 cast, I would say. It went smooth. We got everything we needed in. We went a little bit over time. I think we're going to be over an hour this time. But we'll see what we can cut.
Yeah. Tune in next week. Look out for, or not next week, next month. I don't know. We might do one before the end of the month. But look out for the content that's coming out relatively quickly. Some Let's Plays. See if we'll do some. We did a React video, so maybe we'll do some more of those, depending on what people like. Let us know if there's something you want to see us do.
Thanks for tuning in. Night.